am super, super excited to be here with Naya Hutchinson. Like, you guys need to meet her. Naya is such a fabulous dancer and somebody who I'm just always like, I taught a kid who went to Ailey Fordham, like, because she really is that impressive. But I will say she was born with that. So I don't know. I can be responsible for some of it, but not most of it. So let me give you just a little bit about her background. Naya Hutchinson has danced since she was the age of 3, focusing mostly in ballet in her earlier years with Washington Ballet and Lilla Seber before joining the Bullis Dance Ensemble and the Conservatory program at City Dance. While in middle school and high school, Naya spent her summers studying dance at Dance Theater of Harlem, Alvin Ailey, Alonzo King Lines Ballet, and ABT, and also received the Outstanding Dance Scholar Award at Bullis School. Naya is currently a senior at Ailey Fordham Double Majoring in Dance and African American Studies, and she recently received the Denise Jefferson Memorial Scholarship through Ailey Fordham. I am so excited for you guys to get to meet her. So you started with me in 9th grade. Can you tell me about that kid that walked into my dance classroom as a 9th grader, like who she was and what led you into my classroom?
I think the girl that walked in the studio was just, I think she was a little bit timid, definitely. Yes, definitely timid and, just trying to, in a sense, find herself and find, like how she liked to move and all that stuff. When I look back on old videos of, the different dance projects that you had us do, I'm like, I literally was like, I feel like all technique, like almost like a stick. That's how I feel like I was. And I came in being that because I hadn't done anything other than ballet, really, before I came to Bullis. So yeah, I had done Dance Theater of Harlem, I had done Washington Ballet, so that is really all that I knew was ballet, and you definitely pushed me outside of that box 100%, but I can say I'm really appreciative for that, especially going to Ailey. I definitely needed that push to, step outside of that ballet box.
What are like the fondest like sort of memories that you have of being in class? It doesn't have to be project related, just like, something that, you really remember about being in that ensemble for 4 years.
Some of the fondest memories, I think, well, I mean, we kind of already touched on it. One of them was just expanding my mind to all of these different genres that I had never learned before. I think that's definitely helped me wholeheartedly in the long run to this day. But being exposed to, jazz and tap and, even contemporary and all of that stuff, I had never, I had, maybe seen it, I had seen Ailey before, so I knew it was out there, but I had never actually done it. So I think I was just, I was very open to, learning these things because I had seen it on stage before and I had seen someone like me do things like that, but still have that, like technique and, that ballet background that I had came from and that I came to really love. But I think it was just so much fun experimenting with every single challenge that you gave to us, like, honestly.
Okay, so I want to like kind of switch gears just a little bit here because this is something that has just really been on my heart. I think, this year is the year of like, I feel like a lot of things are coming to, it's like all the chickens are coming to roost at this point. It's like,
to say the least.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But I've noticed that in the last couple of years I've been to conventions that there's a lot of conversation around decolonization of dance and around dance being more inclusive. And although a lot of people have, and I think I might have even had that feel of space, it's like, when you're in a dance classroom, we're all the same, like, but it's honestly like, even there are times, even for me, where I'm like, I remember I had a moment of just being really fascinated with people who had really great turnout and I'm like, and really, like, their feet were super, super arched and ridiculous. But I'm like, that is a European standard. There's no way around it. And so if I value that, then that means that kids who don't have it do not feel valued. And so I'm saying that to say, like, I know that a lot of the spaces you've navigated as a BIPOC dancer really were predominantly white spaces, or spaces who really, really held to standards, European standards of what is beauty in dance. And so I would love to just kind of have you talk a little bit more about kind of an experience or some of the experiences that you remember, even as younger, if you remember that, about, navigating ballet.
Being younger, as you said, I was always surrounded by people that didn't look like me, constantly in spaces up until, really, I would say up until my senior year of high school, a little bit more in my elementary and middle school years. But I think the way in which I navigated it was really with the help of my parents. They were always advocates for me in that space. And when I, would express to them that I would feel uncomfortable, we would make changes, most likely to, like teachers or schools or what have you. I remember just in casting with certain things, like they would cast all the black girls as this one thing that really wasn't, the best thing at all, and we were all talented to be a butterfly or be, whatever, and we weren't cast that way, probably because of the color of our skin. So I would say advice to other girls that are in black girls that are in, or girls of color that are in spaces that they don't particularly see themselves, is we have so much access to like online things. Look up people that look like you. And that's a part of, kind of what I have wanted to do in this past year, is create a space for, dancers that look like me, and, how to do your hair, how to do your makeup, in a way that, actually looks good on you. Like, you don't need to put like thousands and thousands of pounds of blush on stage, because they already see you. That's the reality of it. Just little things like that really, really, really matter. And I think that's something that I definitely was missing when I was when I was younger, is that I didn't have that representation, or even if I did, I didn't necessarily know about it. So I think also just being educated about it. And I know that it's hard when you're young to really find people that you can relate to, but if you can, even if it's just, that one friend or, whoever that you can kind of connect with in that way, I think is really, really helpful. I know that helped me when I was in predominantly white spaces a lot of the time. And I would say be vocal about it to people that you feel comfortable being vocal about it to, because the reality is, all of us are going through it, all of us are going through it. And I think that when I was younger, I kind of felt like I might be the only one. And that kind of hindered me in some ways, because I wouldn't, step up and express myself, or, tell whoever something was bothering me. And it just ended up festering, and that is never good. So my YouTube channel is Naya Alexis. So Naya, my first name, Alexis, Alexis, my middle name. So that is my YouTube channel. My Instagram is Naya_Alexis. So pretty simple, yes. Yes. And if anybody wants to reach out and email me or anything like that, you can email me at Naya, Naya Alexis, Lexis. So it's Naya Lexis.
Resource. Again, thank you so much for your time, and I cannot wait to see what you continue doing in the future.
So I just want to thank you for, so much, everything that you have done for me through all the challenges. I'm so appreciative of the challenges that you've given me through projects and all of it. It has, benefited me in every way. So I just want to thank you so much for everything.